Bro, I need more power.
Hey everyone, my name is Matt Kwan and I'm here covering Anime Boston from morepower.com, and I'm here with voice actress Carrie Keranen. So first off, Carrie, as a voice actor, how has your Anime Boston been so far?
Oh my, awesome. It's been great. Yeah, we got in Thursday night, so full day yesterday, but everyone's been so awesome. Like, all the guests are really, really nice, and they've been asking really thoughtful questions, and the other guests are awesome, and I love them. We did our improv show. Actually, this morning I was like, why do I have bruises all up and down my leg? And I was like, oh, that improv show. I guess I got a little physical.
Alright, so I'm going to jump right into it.
Yeah.
But you did a recent anime about a month ago for League of Legends, and a lot of people who know you associate you, like they know you as Lux. Like that's the first thing that comes to mind is Lux. She's probably become one of the most recognizable and popular characters in the entire game. Like, you know, for her laugh, you know, her quotes. You got so many questions about the laugh and, you know, the lines you did for Lux. So how does it, seeing the character now after all these years, become probably one of the most popular ones that people just like, oh, that's Lux, you know, like I know who that character is.
It's really awesome because, you know, when she came out, it was the beginning, so there's a lot of champions, you know, and the fact that she kind of, it was only like 3 or 4 years ago that a friend of mine was like, you know, she's like really popular, right? And I was like, really? Because there's so many champions, you know, that I was like, and I recorded her so long ago, you know, what was that, like 7 years ago?
2009? Yeah, I think so.
It was a long time ago. So it's amazing that something that I did, and I just remember having a blast at that session, you know, and I think that they had a lot of room for interpretation, right? Like sometimes, like I think that now when they release a champion, they already have a lot of people existing, so they're really specific about like, okay, what's this person's story and how do they really fit something that's not already fulfilled, you know. But back then it was like, hey, we're launching a bunch of people and blah blah blah, you know, so like do what you want to do, you know. And so I feel like I was able to just go in and like just be like my own like self as a goofball, and I just loved her. She was just like happy, you know. It's so rare in video games you get to play someone who's like happy, you know what I mean? She was like happy and had rainbows and light, and I was like, oh, she's awesome. And so
you said she's kind of representative of your personality. So.
Well, other people have said that. Someone said at the panel yesterday, and then people brought it up on the AMA. She was like, gosh, you kind of sound like Lux. And I was like, eek. I feel like my natural tendencies in life are probably very much in line with who she is. Like even when I read, you know, her backstory that they created, I was like, yeah.
Awesome, but also in the anime, what I found interesting is you said you really like the character Braum. Like,
I do.
Is there any specific reason for that?
I don't know.
Is it because of his mustache?
Well, he's just like, he's such a weird, he feels to me like such this weird conglomeration of like what you'd expect, like a big tough guy, but also like a total goofball. Like he has this, I don't know, like with the mustache and just the way I don't know. He just seems like he feels like a contradiction to me in some way that I think is really like fun and interesting.
Fair enough.
I don't know. And there is. I mean, I feel like I just went. But I have this in real life. I have a problem in real life where, like, when I see like really like big people, like tall, like people that are like built like trees, I like want to climb them. Like, I want to like. It's like the little. I don't know if it's like the little sister in me, but I want to be like. I want to like jump on their back. You know what I mean? So I think there's just something. There's something in me of like in real life being like, oh, he's so tall. I want to climb him. I want to see what it looks like. I think I just want to see what the world looks like from way up there.
Like 6 feet.
Yeah, right? And be like, wow, everything's really dirty up here because no one cleans the top of cabinets. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I think that just that part of me got really translated onto him. I was like, I can just climb right up on top of it. I don't know. Oh my, this is sounding worse. The more I explain it, the worse it sounds.
It's okay. It's okay. But are you familiar with any other like female champions? Because I want to ask if there were any like champions you see that like, oh, I wish I could voice her. You know, just.
Oh, you know, I don't know that I've looked at another champion and been like, ooh, I wish I could voice her. I really like but I do really appreciate the variety that they really do feel like they have like, oh, lots of different kinds of characters, lots of kinds, you know. I think that I just really appreciate the diversity and the variety there, and but I mean, like like someone like Jinx, like I love that character, like I would never voice her well. I also think that I have a pretty good handle on like what I can do well and what I cannot do well. And so I'm rarely the person to be like, oh, there's people I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could have done that, meaning that I wish I could have done that performance, or I wish I sounded like that. But I rarely feel like, oh, well, I could have done that because I could do that and I would make that sound better. I don't know, I just sort of appreciate it as from like once I've recorded and it's like done and it's like, and there's like no chance that I would have done that character, like when it's kind of like done, you just sort of appreciate it for what it is. Because you have to learn, there's so many things you don't book, you know what I mean? There's so many auditions you go on and you book like this many of them, and so you have to really get in the habit of like when it's done, it's done. And so I try not to like put myself through pain of like being like, oh, I wish, you know, because it was just, it's like it's a slippery slope into like despair.
I've heard like in this profession you have to learn how to accept no.
Yeah, you just gotta be like, all right, that's the way, you know, like I got my champion and I love her, and I got really, really lucky that my champion was someone that really touched a lot of people, and I'm super grateful for that. And then I'm not gonna, but I do find that I tend to be more attracted to voices that I'm like, oh, I wish I sounded like that, because I feel like my voice is like so like cute and high and clean, that I'm like, oh, I wish I had like, you know, like a more texture, like darker, I don't know.
Just going off that though, like I know in your AMA you also mentioned you really loved Korra and you auditioned for.
Oh my God, so many times.
Was there a particular character that you really liked that you were?
No, I liked them all. Everyone I auditioned for, I liked them all. I wanted them all. I wanted to be on that show so bad. Let's talk about Korra.
The Avatar series is very popular.
I know. I love it. I love it. Again, I just love the female characters in that story because they're really active. You know, they're really active in their own destiny. I don't know. I love it.
Okay. I wanted to kind of move on to some of you played a lot of like kind of what I call kick-ass women. Like your first role, Casca from Berserk. Are you're aware that a new series is coming out?
I know the Black Swordsman. It looks hot, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer?
Yes, I
It looks
have.
hot.
Yeah, so
I mean, I'm not that excited about seeing Casca come back because she's like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh god. But I'm really, really excited to see the story continue, you know, and because the manga's like really gone on, you know, past what the story we've experienced.
So, and then another one is Mami from Madoka. But were you, you know, she, spoiler alert, she kind of like kicks the can a little early in the series. When you found that out, when you were obviously doing voices for that, what was your kind of reaction to like, oh, you know, this magical girl who's kind of the mentor to the other two, she kind of, you know, oh no, she dies. So.
I know. I didn't know it was going to happen because I booked it and started recording it immediately, so I didn't have a chance to like look at the series before. But I know that when I first got in there, I was like, wow, this is so different. Like the look of it and the soundscape and everything. I was like, wow, this is really not what I expected for like a magical girl show. And then it's funny because you don't actually see her die. You sort of like the last thing she does, she's like, huh? She like kind of notices, and then it like cuts to Homura and the ribbons unwind, and I was like, wait.
Yeah,
Wait a second. Did that just happen? You know what I mean? And they're like staring at me through the glass, like. I was like, oh my, wait, I died? You know, and at that, I already knew there was something like special about it just from seeing it. But that's when I knew that it was like a really important show because it's not ultimately a magical girl show. Ultimately, it's a hero's journey, and we're gonna watch Madoka go on this journey. And it's so rare that you see like a young female character take that journey that I was like, that's amazing. And you have, and in the hero's journey, you have to lose your mentor, and you can go on and make all your own choices. You know. So I was, I just feel really like I feel really honored to have been a part of that show, you know, for that reason, and the way that it like really showed adolescence for women in kind of in the ways that it's really a struggle, you know, the way the characters all genuinely were struggling with like, who they were and who they were going to be, and the past that already defined them and the future that they're trying to choose. And it's a very tumultuous time for anyone, adolescence, but especially for women. I really love the way that show, captured more of the kind of like angst and anxiety that's inside of all that, as opposed to just like the, oh my god, I feel so bad. Oh, it's okay, friendship. Just like, okay, well, yes, but I just love that it just felt like it really connected to something like deeper. I feel like you hate all my answers.
No, not at all.
Okay, well, she said that. Okay.
May just be my personality, but is like Fate Zero. I don't really get to see many people ask you this question about Maiya. But how did you feel about that role, being like this cold, silent killer type?
Oh my god, I loved her. It was so funny because Tony Oliver was directing me, and then when I came in for it, he was like, Maiya?
Carrie? Yeah.
Maiya? And I was like, yeah. And I did it, he was like, oh, wow, this is a side of you I've never seen. I loved doing her for that reason, that she was, the way that it came out in terms of her being like, colder, more calculated, she's a quieter kind of character, but she still ultimately in essence had what I always look for in a character, which is like a high level partnership. And her relationship in that story, like she always knew that she was going to give her life for him. She always knew, and if everything worked out to the best to the best end, the best result, that is how she would go out, protecting him for his vision, for his, so I mean, they were never going to be like a romantic couple, like let's get married and have babies, but I loved their relationship, and of course, like, Matthew Mercer played that role,
yes.
And I know and love him in life tremendously, but it was really just like she still had that sense of like that partnership and that strong vision. I think that's what I really like in characters, and it was just great to have it come out in this like very different kind of character. So, and I just love the show, and I love the look of the show, and it feels very cinematic. So, and this is one of the things that I just love about anime in general, is that it holds so many, inside itself as a genre, it holds so many genres, like so many ways of telling stories. And that's what's kind of exciting about doing it, that you can have like really fun, like bubbly, like stories that are like brightly colored, and then you can have something like really dark and serious, But it all works in the same world, and I think that's why I feel like really lucky to be a part of it.
Okay. And the last character I couldn't,
you tried to like smile. You're like, okay, you like deliberately smile. I appreciate that.
But it's about Satsuki.
Oh yes.
Kill Kill.
I'm sorry, who?
Satsuki.
I'm just kidding. Okay, I know.
But a lot of people, their first impressions of the show was kind of polarizing. Some felt it was, maybe demeaning toward women, but some people felt it was empowering. What were your kind of first impressions toward women?
It's so funny because I go back now and watch the first couple of episodes. I'm like, oh, right, I forgot that's how it started. Because when it first starts, it feels very like fanboy. There's like the first couple of episodes, I don't think totally let you know where the story's going, So I always tell people, I'm just like, just make it to episode 3. Like just make it to episode 3, because then you'll start to see like where it's going, and then you'll hit episode 4, which is like the really funny episode, and it'll kind of like you'll kind of know what you're in for. But I understand that a lot of people can get very like turned off by like episode 1 and 2, because even when I go back and visit it, I'm like, oh, wow, this show started here. I forgot that that's where it started, But so I always say like just give it 3 episodes, because I do. It's such an interesting thing. Like, is it empowering or not towards women? Because you do have your 2 main characters, both female characters, which is awesome. But then of course you have like these Junkets. But I love that inside, like as a part of the storyline, they build in the fact of like why they're so scantily clad, and there's a whole episode about like Ryuko not being comfortable and like me being like, I'll bare my breasts after my vision is pure, like, and so there is this idea that it's like, it's not about what we're looking like, it's not about this, it's about what we're heading towards, and so kind of really sort of, because I mean as a woman, you can't get around the fact that like, you're a beautiful being because women are awesome. And that's going to be how you are in the world, like, and men are going to like look at you, and men who are interested in women, and women who are interested in women are going to look at women and go like, wow, she's beautiful. I'd like to get close to her. You know what I mean? Like, that's just like, you can't get past that. Like, that's just like biology, right? That's just, it's going to be there. And so I feel like it's not about separating women and saying, feminism isn't about like separating women from their like physical body and being like, no, you have to only appreciate them in this other way. It's like, no, why can't it be everything? Like, why can't someone be like beautiful and smart and have vision and be a leader and like, if they want to do all those things. So I feel like I do like the fact that it does encompass everything, that it holds on to everything, instead of being like, I'm this awesome, smart leadership character, but I'm drawn like ugly or meek or like a wallflower. Like, why? Why can't there be like two like rockin' hot chicks who are also like badass and smart and have vision?
Wonder Woman.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, why not? Why not stand for something and be attractive?
And
wow, I just got on a soapbox there, right? Woo, it's early, right? It's early still.
but kind of like a question to wrap up. I came up with this question just for you because but say hypothetical zombie apocalypse.
Okay, yeah.
And you have to choose one character that you played to accompany you throughout this kind of new desolate wasteland. Okay. Who would you pick?
Satsuki.
Why?
Oh, because she has, of course I was going like Kasuga Satsuki, because Satsuki, not only does she have the skill and the power and the craft, she also has a lot of like vision. So I feel like she has a lot more strategy than I do as a person, and so I would want that, because instead of just surviving, I'd be like, and then what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And I feel like she'd be like, all right, here's what's gonna happen. And I feel like she would organize people together and be leader. I could follow her into she's just like a really traditional alpha female, and I feel like those are the kinds of people you want to follow into the dark woods in the middle of the night when there's beasts about.
Awesome, that's a great answer. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much.
And so everyone, you can find Carrie on Twitter, YouTube, and you can find us at morepower.com. So thank you.